You are here for the psychic notes that I have for you today, and I just want you to know that I have been left unattended, and I have no business being here at the front end of a Lionsgate with a full moon and a bunch of cosmic energy going on. So we're going to leave this up to Spirit Team guidance, because I'm pretty sure I know what I need to say, but it's a little bit loopy-doopy right now, and we're going to have them guide me through this so we can stay on track, right? So, as I focus in energy space, right? So first, we got to talk about TikTok. And this is pretty much for all the platforms. So I don't know if you have been noticing the big moves that Larry Ellison has been making with the whole Paramount, Skydance, that whole thing. And then also, he owns Oracle, and then also trying to buy out TikTok. And so the first piece of news here right now is Spirit Team, and I'm just being fully transparent with you. Spirit Team has been warning me for good on like 10 days now. They're like, Dana, TikTok is over as you know it. You need to start making moves, start talking about it, being loud and proud about it. And here's the deal. I don't think TikTok is physically going to go away, because the powers that be know if TikTok fully goes away, they're going to have, it's going to be an unholy mess on their hands. Like, I think that was the test run last January. I think they were just kind of testing out to see everything that was going to happen, right? And so, the DT man continues to sign on the dotted line to keep this thing alive, and we are watching it erode and erode and erode. Basically, TikTok has been zucked as far as I'm concerned. That's what we see going on right now. And I'm just going to be fully clear about this. This is Zionists at the helm in action, because we know IPAC in Israel is calling a whole bunch of the shots, and this is a lot of what this is right now. So let's just call it what it is. So what I can pick up on energetically about TikTok is physically it's going to stay here, but the surveillance on it continues to go through the roof. The shadow banning continues to be suppressed. Like, I watched things go on with my algorithm in the last 10 days where I was like, that's not cool. So what I want you to know is I will continue to stay here in certain kinds of ways, but through this whole push, like Spirit Team has also been pushing me. They're like, we need you to get on Vimeo. We need you to get on Vimeo. I'm like, I don't want to get on Vimeo. Like, there's no need for me to get on Vimeo. I got my platforms. And they're like, girlfriend, trust us, get on Vimeo. So this past week, I booted up with Vimeo, and I'm beginning to find out, there's a lot of different reasons. So reason number one, I am now embedding my videos that you see. I'm beginning to embed them on my website, so that no matter what happens in social media land, you know that there will always be a stable place where you can come back and watch my big, bright, beautiful, shiny face speak up like more and more unfettered than I have before. So begin to go to my website, www.somaticmoney.com. I'll have it linked up in my link tree. Begin to go there and begin to pick up some of my videos there. If you feel like, you can't find me on TikTok, YouTube, whatever, you can go to me there. Second big, beautiful, magical thing that has happened with all of that is that, people have been asking me all along the way, Dana, what about membership? Dana, what about membership? And I got to say to you guys, every time somebody says membership, I go like, it's kind of like saying to somebody like me, hey, for kicks and grins, do you want to go to a 250-person networking event? It's like, fuck no, right? So my visceral reaction of like membership and just go over to Patreon, it just out of the question. But it turns out Vimeo has subscription levels. When you say subscription to me, I can deal with that a lot better. It's a semantic thing. And then I went over and looked at YouTube subscription levels, and it's like there's some magic going on with the Vimeo subscription level thing. And so the second part of this is super exciting, is that I'm going to be able to begin to tier my content. And I gotta throw a shout out to the most recent woman who said, Dana, you have amazing content. Why aren't you doing membership? And I went, but I also heard her say, you have amazing content. Oh, you have amazing content. And so finally, I am going to be able to structure my content. So every single week, you are going to get gems and beautiful nuggets at a free level still. First, energy forecasting, top of the week. That's the first program. Second, Somatic Money Oracle deck reads and fielding your Q&A money questions. That's the number 2 for the week. Now the third showcase for the week is Art is Life, Life is Art. We're doing a whole project there. Fourth showcase for the week, always psychic notes, reading energy, looking at the energy events, and then in the background, I'll be doing the add-on offers of intuitive basics, deeper pendulum check dives. So really, you guys are going to continue to have all the same great content I have, but add-ons with deeper dive content at a subscription level. Because quite frankly, haven't we all had it? Haven't we all had it with the circus? And this is me going, well, maybe in the circus I can create a bit of a stable platform in the storm that as long as the power's on and as long as the internet is on, we can all rely on, right? I know that was a little long-winded, but this is a big sea change for us, and I wanted to make sure you know to come along for the ride. And I wanted you to have the clarity that those little bylines that I've had for a while, those are actually turning into programs, full-on programs where we're focusing in on certain snapshots during the week, and they will revolve through every single week. Super excited about it. And thank you to the latest woman who said, where's your membership? I love your content. You got great content. Like, it helped kick me over the edge. So thank you. All right, so now we're going to do psychic reads on current events and also a catch-up review on energy events that have been going on this week. And the first thing we need to start with is the Monday, Tuesday big, it was like a quantum light existential bomb at the cellular code programming light space that went off in all of Gen Pop. It was like Monday, Tuesday, Monday. Like at this point, I can't remember. All I know is I stepped out the door one morning to do my meditation and it hit me full on and I was like, whoa. And I checked in, like when that happened, I checked in. I was like, is this Mother Earth? Because like last week, like she had her boom go off and then volcanoes and earthquakes and like, no, this wasn't Mother Earth. And then I was like, is it cosmic? And it was kind of cosmic, but then there was this whole other self-created kind of thing. So all I'm telling you is that within this level 1 track change of a timeline jump, and we are in the Lion's portal. We haven't quite reached the peak. You know, I'm recording this on Thursday, August the 7th, as we're headed into the 8th of the peak of Lionscape and the full moon. And just know there are other cosmic amplifiers. I mean, Spirit Team they said coming in this week, this thing is going to be amplified in a way it's never been amplified before. And I almost kind of want to cross my eyes because you can feel the energy on it. Well, it really hit Monday, Tuesday. It hit Monday, Tuesday. So that existential quantum light, quote unquote, bomb, I mean, that's kind of like violent word for a really powerful consciousness, quite quantum light kind of thing that was going on. It all happened for everyone. Don't think it happened for a particular few. It happened for everyone. So, you know, a great way to look at it is somebody who's unawakened and you watch them be kind of off kilter on Monday, Tuesday. I mean, it was kind of funny, right? It was kind of funny. So that happened. And in the window of that happening, and again, I can't remember if this was Monday, Tuesday, but I went into CNN, and I know some of you are like, you look at CNN, and it's like, yes, I look at CNN so I can read between the headlines. I go in, look at some of these news places that I know are toxic, they are dysfunctional, they are 3D, but I go in so I can read the energy between the headlines. That's why I do it. So I went in on like Monday, Tuesday, and there was a headline about the House GOP calling on the Department of Justice, DOJ, to release the Epstein files. I saw that headline and my impact was, you know what my impact was? My impact was House of Cards. I looked at that and I'm like, oh, there's the beginning of the implosion. That is the step into the implosion. And remember, you know, ever since last fall, it's always been the House. It's always been the House of Representatives. Last fall, Spirit Team was saying, House of Representatives need a big house cleaning. When we look at all the branches of government that are all very corrupt at this point, which is the one that gets the emphasis on the beginning of the transformation happening? House of Representatives. Look at how much Spirit Team had me look at that big-ass nasty bill that got signed. What were they doing? They had me looking at the House of Representatives and that great beast showing up. And so when we look at this massive, vast change that's going to happen within the American government and the American population, it's already happening right now. Spirit Team is basically saying the house, the cards of the house, they're all primed to fall now. House of cards, right? So that was on Monday, Tuesday. Oh, and I do want to give just a bit of a side note here, answering the question. I have had some people coming into comments saying, Dana, how committed are you to the destruction of everything? And, valid question. It's a question I have asked myself often over the last 20 years of, as I've seen and witnessed all kinds of stuff going on in Spirit Team talking to me. Believe me, this whole thing that's going on right now, in my first rodeo, I got all primed up with this kind of stuff in 2008. You do not know how close we were to some stuff in 2008. We sidestepped some pretty big stuff in 2008, so we can do this all a lot more gradually. But to answer the question about how committed am I to destruction, the destruction of stuff, I'm not. I'm committed to the transformation. I'm committed to a Kali cycle, a seasonal cycle, Phoenix, death, rebirth kind of cycle. And if you look at the planet, we're always living in cycles. Nothing stays the same. And so what I know about transformation is that destruction is part of the process of the transformation. Now, do I wish bad things on people? I do not. But I'm also eyes wide open on realizing the process we're going through. There's gonna be people getting caught. There's gonna be people getting hurt. I got told that by Cryon, Lee Carroll's channel Cryon, way back. We've known about this for a while. Then the next thing we need to talk about is the relational difference happening right now energetically between 3D and 5D as we are in a functional space. So as we moved off the Monday, Tuesday timeline with all of this stuff kind of happening, I noticed, especially as I was out in public, because I have very consciously gone out just to kind of get a read on things and a take on things and like how are things working. And I got to tell you, the couple of times that I have been out interacting with people, driving around, stopping, checking on things energetically, I'm noticing things like driving through parts of town and having portals open up in the middle of intersections and feeling a kind of energy. So there's energy anomalies going on right now in this amplified Lionsgate portal kind of space that defy reason, defy logic, and, kind of defy energy. And so one of the things I would say is we're navigating this track change, like we're in a historic track change kind of place right now. It's going to be very important that you are have your wherewithal, you're very grounded, and you're very aware of the 3D, 5D thing. And then speaking of that, one of the things I noticed happening, as I was driving, as I got to places, as I was interacting with people, the 3D, 5D distinction is even more powerful now than it has ever been, okay? And some of the interactions that I had with people, I would be in places of business and I could tell that okay, this is kind of more of a 3D space of business, and I'm walking in here all 5D, all lit up, and they can see me and I can see them, but it felt like it was through a window. I did a transaction in a certain store, and the gentleman who helped me out, I could tell he's a 3D guy. He's a 3D guy. But we were chit-chatting and everything, and I swear to God, it was through a window. Through a window. That's what it felt like. It was like an energy window. And for a moment I had that thought of oh, this is what it's like for Spirit Team when they work with me. They're working with me through a window. They can see me, I can somewhat see them, and there's a window going on. And sometimes the window's wide open and it's fantastic and great, we can talk and everything, and sometimes the window's closed. That's what it's felt like as I have been out moving around in public the last couple of days. Now, another current news event, as this is all going on, when I checked in on the CNN headlines, a couple of things happened. Like there was one check-in that I did on the CNN headlines, and Spirit Team was like, they shut me down. They're like, don't look, we don't want you in there. Like, we don't even want you engaged with 3D. Like, get out, get out, get out, get out. And there was a feeling of like, don't even look at the news, unattach from the news, unattach, unattach, unattach. And so there has been a feeling, even more of a feeling this week of like not engaging through the window with certain kind of things. So, and there's a feeling of like, be in the 5D, establish more of the 5D, be in that space. And I'll be talking about that a little bit more. But one of the headlines that they, and I think this was yesterday, I went in just to do a quick kind of blurby energy check with CNN again. Went in, take a look, did so with Al Jazeera, went into the BBC. I don't even mess with Fox News. But I went in just a quick 1-2 punch with CNN to find out what's going on. And all I could hear energetically was rotting from the inside out. And it was very connected with that news story of, the president's lost his mind. He's walking around on the roof of the White House spewing nonsense. Like, he's gone. He's gone. He's like completely gone. And that's where Spirit Team was talking about. I could hear the energy reverb on it, rotting from the inside out. And then when you stack that up with House of Cards, you've got House of Cards rotting from the inside out. And then we get the news about J.D. Vance doing some secret meeting stuff on the side with other administration people. And I'm like, wait a minute, if it's a secret meeting and we all know about it, it's not so secret. But this is just case in point of, there's been all these rumblings of the Vance Man activities, and it escalated this week. So that tells you right there how unstable everything is. And yes, there's still awful things going on, and it is still ramped up in a, nasty, trying to be fascist kind of state kind of thing. But it's not working as well as they want it to. It is falling apart in a lot of ways. So that whole messaging about all is not what it seems like there's beginning to be a lot more cracks in the wall than there has been before. And this is all August. It's the August energy of the old stuff coming apart even more and us coming through even more. And right here, I want to anchor in, and Spirit Team has been anchoring this in with me. So have you noticed with my feed that I have gotten off of the almost day-to-day, every other video kind of psychic notes byline check? Like, at some point, I was feeling very much like I had to be in it, had to report. I was there, right? And you guys saw me doing that. And all of a sudden, Spirit Team has had me kind of go, "Ert!" And there's been a feeling of like, disengage from the really low vibrational 3D toxic shit. Like it's been like, Dana, you did what you needed to do. You reported everything you needed to do. You got everybody the information that they needed to get where they needed to go. And they're like, it's done. It's done. And literally the message for me has been, anchor into 5D, anchor into the new earth. You need to start doing your new earth 5D energy, physical stuff now. And my conversation has been with them, it's been like, but it hasn't all come apart. Like, the storm hasn't happened. The space hasn't been cleared. Like, blah, blah. I have all this argument with them, and they're literally, Spirit Team is kind of like, it's the closest they come to swearing at me. I literally can feel the reverb of like, bullshit. I love it when they talk back with me like that. Anyway, so there's a feeling coming from Spirit World of like, stop messing around with 3D, disengage from it. Like, don't put any more energy there. They don't need that. You don't need to give them that energy. Don't give them that energy. I think this is that whole codependent taking boundary thing this week, is like, unattach from the 3D toxic tarry shit stuff. Like, unattach from it. Let go of it. And put your energy all into the 5D platform building stuff. That's part of the reason you see me, Spirit Team has me now building out my top showcase channels right now, because every single one of those channels is for 5D world. So I think the thing that I want to say here is, And before I say this, I have been feeling this too. It's like, how can we move into the new space of the 5D until we get rid of the great big old turd, the great big old orange turd? Like, how can we do that? And spirit realm is like, you missed the message. It literally is an unattach from it and put your energy where you want to create. And so to the people who are like, I can't function until he's gone. And I have this feeling of like, don't go down with the energy ship. Like, let go of that. It's kind of like, don't be in the eye of the storm when it comes through. Like, it reminds me of this thing that my ex-husband Bob used to say about mountaineering. Like, we did so much stuff in the outdoors, and the hiking and the backpacking and the skiing and the camping and all of that. And one of his cardinal rules was, don't drive into the storm. Like, if you see a storm coming, do not fucking drive into that storm. He saw more buddies have more problems when they're like, oh, let's drive into the storm. Like, stupid shit, right? I think that symbolically works here of like, we see a whole 3D storm materializing right now. At this point, we are in it, right? And there's a feeling I have of saying to you of like, don't drive into it. Like, unattach. You don't need to drive into this thing. Like, let it go. Don't drive into it. Like stabilize your roots in the 5D energy, unattach from it, like, and be that lighthouse. Do your thing. Do your art. Do your life as art is life thing. Like that place where we feel connected in that higher vibration. That's right now. We're not waiting for certain people to move off the planet to get the permission to do what we need to do. No, we're warrioresses. Like, we fly in the face of this thing and we do what we're meant to do in the 5D world, in spite of everything else going on. So I don't necessarily think it's where you're at. I believe it's how you're holding your energy, or how you're conscious of holding your energy at any given moment on any given day. And so this is how we are very creative, transformational, consciousness-driven, higher vibrational, 5D, magical, powerful kind of beings here on this planet at this crazy, amazing time, right? So we're going to close out on that top note of being powerful, magical creatures in the face of this whole thing, the whole idea of like just being in this the way that we are. Sometimes that is enough. So that's what I've got for you for now. I will be back with an energy forecast in a couple of days, and make sure you keep walking to meet those miracles along the way. We are the miracle, and I will see you in my next video.